What's up, guys? I'm sitting here at the hospital. I meant to start recording this morning, but things were hectic. We was rushing, trying to get out. She's up there with the baby right now. I was just up there, came down to just update everyone, let everyone know how it's going so far today. What all did they say? She's doing good so far. Right now she's stable. The only thing is her blood pressure dropped, and then she's got a hole in her, not a hole, but like just a little tiny blood vessel opened in her heart, and with her blood pressure dropping and going up, that kind of makes them worry that it's opening just a little bit more. But they use ibuprofen for that. Like every baby's born with the open blood vessel in their heart, at least one. So they normally use ibuprofen to close it up. So if it is opening up too much, they're just going to use some ibuprofen. Hopefully that'll close it up. Right now she's on a ventilator with a breathing tube going down her throat. They want us to try and switch her over to what they said. I think they said it's called a CPAP. It's pretty much where it's like just a little mask that they put over her face. It's just pressurized air, where it's not going to force her to breathe like the ventilator is. It's going to have to. It's going to make her work to breathe on her own. So that worries me a little bit, but if it don't work out, they said they'll switch her right back over. I don't really see it working out because she has a lot of trouble breathing on her own. She don't breathe on her own a lot right now. I don't feel like it's ready. They're ready to do that, but they are the doctors. I'm not, so at least I know if they was like, well, if it don't work out, there's not much we can really do, I'd be like, then don't switch her over yet. But they said if it don't work out, they'll switch her right back over to the ventilator, where it'll make her breathe. If she don't breathe, it'll say she don't breathe, the ventilator will kick in and be like, oh, here you go, there's a breath. So yeah, as the day goes on, we'll keep you updated more. She's up there pumping right now, getting milk. That's pretty stressful. She has to do it every 3 hours, so the night she's waking up, pumping. But it's all gonna be worth it. It will be worth it. It's a nice hospital. I'll actually show you. This is nothing either. It's huge. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's going so far, guys. It's a beautiful day out. All right, I'll be back in a little bit to update you some more. They're getting ready. What are they getting ready to do? Oh my goodness! I forgot the biggest thing. Today's the first day that we're going to get to do skin to skin. Here in about an hour. It's a little bit after 1 right now. They said around 2 we'll get to do skin to skin. So that's going to be awesome. It'll be the first time we'll get to get the baby out and hold the baby skin to skin. And if you know anything about premature babies, skin to skin is one of the best, especially for the mom and the baby, to be skin to skin. It's one of the best things for brain development, for just everything development for the baby. It's gonna be awesome. I'm pretty excited. I know Mama Bear up there is excited. So yeah, I'll update you guys some more later, and stay tuned, subscribe, don't forget. What's it feel like?
Feels good.
Alright, what's up, guys? We left the hospital, we ran to Walmart real fast to get this little horror thing. It wasn't expensive at all. But now we're just finishing off Walmart, heading to the place that we're staying at. We got a good little drive, so we figured we'd tell you about how it started. And I'll let her do this because I do all the talking, so it's her turn. All right, so you go ahead and tell them how it started for you, like what it was like on day one when we went to the hospital.
So like, I just took a nap because I was really tired after my first day at work, and I woke up and I was just having like really bad cramps in my lower back, and it was like really abnormal for me because usually my cramps are in my stomach, and I haven't ever cramped during my pregnancy. And I tried to take some extra strength Tylenol, like my nurse told me to, and it never went away after an hour. He tried rubbing tennis balls on my back, and I tried doing yoga positions to relieve the pain, like the pressure off my back, and nothing was working. So we decided to go into labor and delivery in Athens, and of course I was a little frightened. Brandon was staying positive, but they said they'd done a vaginal ultrasound, and they said that my cervix was funneled, and that I was a fingertip dilated and 80% thin. And so they sent me up to Riverside. They put me on magnesium and sent me up to Riverside. They also put
Columbus.
Yeah,
which is like 2 hours away from where we're at.
And we got up there, and then they checked my cervix again, and it was dilated to a 3. And then they put me on all kinds of medication. They gave me a shot that would help Kimber's lungs form faster, because she was gonna. Yeah, it was steroids because she was gonna come premature. And then they had me on all kinds of medications. I don't even remember my first day up here. I barely remember my second day too. But the contractions, they went for about 24 hours, but I stayed dilated to a 3. And so when the contractions stopped, they weaned me off my medicine, and it stopped for almost 48 hours. And then they started again. I was having, like, I felt like I was constipated, and like that there was just like I got to poop, like people feel when they go into labor. And I lost my mucus plug, and then they checked me, and I was at a 5. And then they sent me over to labor and delivery and put me back on the magnesium and everything. The contractions were getting closer together and a lot stronger. They checked my cervix again, and it was at a 7. So within an hour, it dilated from a 3 to a 7. And so they sent me in for an emergency C-section, and she was born. It's been like a really scary thing for us, and it's been really hard on us and all of our family. The ride up here was pretty rough too, because I had a catheter in, and it was really bumpy in the ambulance.
So the C-section part, I gotta stop you there because that's the story that needs to be said. I went back for the C-section, remind you, and I've never seen a C-section, never seen someone have their stomach cut open or anything like that, so I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. I'm sitting in the chair right beside her, watching the C-section, holding her hand at the same time. She's kind of out of it, but she's still there, like she's still able to talk to me, respond to what I'm saying, and she understood everything I was saying. So it's like, wow. Well, they cut her stomach open, and I'm looking over at her, I'm looking back and forth. I'm like, I don't know how she doesn't feel that, but I mean, of course the shot keeps her from feeling it. But at the same time, I'm sitting here watching her stomach get cut open and talking to her like nothing's even going on at the same time. So it's like, wow. And then they cut it open, and they reached down in her stomach and grabbed a hold of the top part of her stomach and just pulled real hard. And I got so queasy, like that was probably that made me so sick, but I held through. I got through it. And then they pulled Kimber out, and I thought she was dead at first, because she was like, her head was laying over to the doctor's side of this, and her legs was just limp on both sides, so she was like this boom limp. And then out of nowhere I hear her cry, so I'm like, phew. So I hear her cry just a little bit, and she's so small, she's literally the size of my palm coming out. So it sounds so far away, like in the distance when you hear her cry, because it's so small.
It's like a baby kitten.
Yeah, like it was unbelievable. That was an experience I'll never forget, but at the same time, that was so gross.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But that's pretty much how it happened. And I'll let you. We finished it. We told them from there. They know about, because yesterday the video how she went and how you went and delivered the baby. And then what happened?
When I was under surgery, I could feel the pressure in my stomach of like their hands and everything, and it was weird.
It's definitely not something either one of us want to go through. I didn't think it was going to hurt this bad. It does hurt. It does hurt a lot, especially when you see your daughter just laying there. She's pretty much helpless. The machines are doing all the work for her, but she is strong. And that's pretty much it. Now we're just going day by day. So today, you've seen, I got videos of her doing the skin to skin. You watched that. That was pretty awesome for her. I was gonna, they offered me to do it too, but as I was in there watching them set her up, giving her to her, cords kept coming unplugged, like her oxygen cord come unplugged. They had to plug it back in real fast, and everything was just beeping. So I know Kimber was stressed to the max. So I figured it's best to just give her a couple of days before I do skin to skin, because she's so little. She's just barely over a pound. Like her body can't take that much stress. It probably wore her out. To us, we running a marathon. That's what it probably felt like to her, just switching over, having her oxygen cord come undone. So I gotta let her rest before I do that, because I don't want anything happening.
Yeah, her heart rate dropped down into the 30s, just from her being so stressed, and then it kept coming unplugged. But after, what was it, like 10 minutes, and we read to her and talked to her and just held her tight and felt like comforted her. It went back up into the 140s, 150s, 160s. But yeah, she's had a big day. She got a pick yesterday. It's like an IV that you put into a baby. They had all her cords going through, like all her lines going through her umbilical cord, to give her like her fluids and everything, and to draw blood. Her oxygen, or her CO2 level in her blood was super high a few days ago. It was at 108, and it's supposed to be in the 30s and 40s. And so they were really like what's it called? Complementating or something.
What do you mean? Like, are you trying to say like
they were considering, like they were trying to decide whether they wanted to like sedate her and put her on another ventilator, because she wasn't
Complating.
Are you sure?
Complating?
No.
I don't know how to say it either. Complating.
No.
Contemplating.
Yeah, something like
Contemplating.
that. But because so basically the ventilator that they started her out on, it takes not as many breaths, but it takes harder breaths, and it's hard on her lungs, because the more you expand their lungs, you get, what's it called, holes or like marks?
It's like it stretches out. Like, think of it as a piece of bubble gum. When you blow a bubble, it starts to stretch, and then just a little bit will seep through until it's boom, a hole. So you're blowing that bubble out of bubble gum, and it's kind of stretching and stretching. So, well, it's not so far that there's a hole in her lung. It's got so far where it's stretched, and air just seeps out because it's stretched out so far, like a piece of bubble gum, pretty much. That's how I think of it as.
And so, what was I saying? Oh, and so there's this other ventilator that takes a lot of smaller breaths, and it'll help her learn to breathe on her own. But she doesn't tolerate that ventilator. When they switch her over, her heart rate drops down into the 30s. And like our Dr. Shoemaker, he's told us that he's never seen a baby that has never tolerated that ventilator. Usually they like it a lot better, because it doesn't wear them out as much. She's been riding the ventilator she's on a lot until yesterday.
Tell them what riding the ventilator means.
Oh, so riding the ventilator means basically letting the ventilator do all the work for you. The ventilator will take breaths for you to give you a break when you're tired or stressed out, and she's had a lot. She hasn't had an easy day, like, since she was born. Like, every day is hard for her, because they have to change her diaper. That's hard, and like that stresses her out. She's been tolerating it really well recently. This past few days she's had two or three good days. She's been breathing a lot on her own since yesterday, but But they changed the settings on the ventilator they have her on right now, so it's a lot easier on her, but they can't go any lower on the settings. So they can't take any easier breaths, like the machine won't do that. And so they're thinking about switching her over to is it CPAP?
Yeah, it's already on there. I explained that to them at the beginning when you wasn't out there with me. They already got the rundown of that pretty much. Everything's talked about for today. I think we pretty much gave them all the details so far.
Yeah. Right now we're just heading back to the Ronald McDonald House to get some rest and enjoy some time together by ourselves while we don't have visitors, and to give Kimber a rest because she's had a rough day.
So yeah, guys, I mean that's pretty much it. Day 2 of the Preemie parents. You see that car in front of us just swerve?
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it, guys. Definitely make sure you subscribe because it's gonna be up and down. We know, me and her both are aware that it's not gonna be a good day every day. We're gonna have our bad days. That's how it goes with premature babies.
Yeah.
It's back and forth, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So it's gonna be hard. But we got this. We're a team. Kimber's gonna make it through. We're gonna make it through. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and comment. Let us know what you want to see more of.
If you want to ask us questions, we'll always look at the comments before we make our next video, so we can answer any questions that you've commented and asked on our previous video. If you want us to record doing something with Kimber, like reading her a book or anything like that, talking to her, or just recording her kicking or anything that you guys want to see, we can do that and post too. We're going to be posting our regular updates on this YouTube channel, just because it's a lot easier than posting it on Facebook and everyone commenting or everyone just messaging us individually, because we do have a busy and rough life right now. We're trying to maintain ourselves and take care of ourselves, but we also want to be there for our baby. We want to be there with her 24/7 no matter what, but we can't do that. We have to take care of ourselves. And that's been something that's really been hard for both of us to accept. But we're doing it, and we're doing good.
The YouTube channel came up because we get messages all the time. People want to know how is Kimber doing? And just we've talked to random people that we don't know, just messages, and it's hard keeping in touch with everybody, updating everybody, because you got to message one person at a time, and then people get upset with us because we're not messaging them. So the YouTube channel is our best bet. If you subscribe, you can watch any video we post. We're gonna try and post every day, one a night. Keep it day 1, day 2, day 3. That's how it's gonna go for us, and everybody can stay updated that we know. And even anybody, for parents that are planning on going through this, anybody can see how it goes before they have to go through it, and kind of know that they're not the only ones out there. You got other people out there, and you've got support. And if you are going through this as of right now, we're here. If you are just commenting, if you need someone to talk to, we're going through it with you. We'd be glad to talk to you about it. And just show support. We all need support in life. Through any circumstance you have to go through, not just this kind. It's rough. There's rough times in life, and you don't want to admit it. You don't want to admit it, but pride gets in the way. But you got to. It's rough. You need someone there. Sometimes you just got to get it out and talk. That's about it for today. I'll let her end it.
What?
I'll let you end it.
How do I end it?
Do you got anything you want to say?
Oh, no.
Alright, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. Keep us updated with what you want us to do more of, what you want to see. And that's it. Go ahead and hit it on, baby.